हेलो नमस्कार आदाब सत श्री अकाल कैसे हैं आप लोग अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन आई एम योर होस्ट अमृत कश्यप and I'm super duper excited to meet you guys and of course let you meet the stars of the movie जिसके लिए हम सब यहाँ पे आए हैं and नमस्ते आप सबको are we guys ready? I said I think we all are set. तो सबसे पहले आपको बता दूं कि इंडिया में ना एक चीज सबसे ज्यादा we take pride in, which is sports, right? Which is something really close to our heart. Especially if you look back in a country जहाँ पे 29 states है, 22 languages है, multiple castes है, लेकिन one thing that unites us is sports. और अगर sports को entertainment से मैच कर दो तो मजे आ जाएगा. देखिए हम सब ने कितने सारे trophies enjoy किए हैं, celebrate किए हैं. We cried when our athletes lost. We even enjoyed and bust crackers जब उन सब ने ट्रॉफीज जीती थी, राइट? तो बस ऐसा ही एक स्पोर्ट है रग्बी, जहां पे इन 2007 इंडिया won the juniors rugby world cup in United Kingdom. Sorry. And yes, so talking about this film जिसके ऊपर ये बेस्ड है, the one and only the very inspiring movie जंगल क्राई, जो कि रिलीज होने वाली है लायंस गेट प्ले ऐप में एंड एयरटेल एक्सट्रीम ऐप में. देखिए मैं तो सब्सक्राइब हूँ, मैं दोनों ऐप डाउनलोड कर चुका हूँ. आई होप यू गाइस ऑल द फैंस जो भी यहाँ ज्वाइन किए हैं वो सब ये दोनों ऐप को डाउनलोड कर ले, लायंस गेट प्ले ऐप एंड एयरटेल एक्सट्रीम ऐप, जो कि जून में ये फिल्म रिलीज होने वाली है जंगल क्राई. बट टॉकिंग अबाउट द फिल्म मैं उस पर बात नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि हमारे साथ द टू स्टार्स ऑफ द मूवी है जो बात करेंगे द स्टोरी, द इंस्पिरेशन, द पैशन अबाउट दिस फिल्म. सो without much ado, let me call upon the two stars, beginning with the one and only, the extremely talented, versatile actor who starred in multiple acclaimed films, right from Dev Ji, एक चालीस की लास्ट लोकल, and of course, Lucky Oy, and our favorite, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. My boy has come a long way from making his debut film, Socha Na Tha, and to now, सब कुछ सोच समझ के, to promote his film, जंगल ट्राई. प्लीज आप सब बड़े बड़े स्माइल से स्वागत करिए आर स्टार अभय देओल.
Hi,
Hi sir, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
You look great sir, you look great
Oh,
as
thank
always.
you.
And
Thank you.
of course sir, क्योंकि ये बॉलीवुड हॉलीवुड कनेक्शन है तो मैं हॉलीवुड कनेक्शन को कैसे भूल सकता हूँ, राइट? सो
Yes.
all the fans out there, let me tell you, Abhay sir is joined by the very talented, supremely beautiful, the actor from America who is making her Bollywood debut opposite Abhay sir. Let me tell you about her something. She is extremely talented and she has been on critically acclaimed films, right? From our very favorite film Avengers, Captain America, The Winter Soldier. She even appeared in Fortune Defies Death, directed by Jennifer Hewlett. Even she assisted Clint Eastwood on Jersey Boys. What an amazing talent. And I'm told that she is half Gujarati and half Scottish. So please welcome Emily Shah making a Bollywood debut with Abhay Deol. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. It looks
She's
great.
she's she's full Gujarati, yeah.
Full Gujarati.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not.
know.
પણ હું ગુજરાતી બોલી શકું. કેમ છો બધા ગુજરાતી?
Majama, that's what you say, right? So,
That's right.
how are you guys together and how's life after Jungle Cry?
How's life now? Well, it's
After the movie.
after Jungle Cry. Well, after Jungle
Yeah.
Cry was a pandemic.
Yeah.
How did you spend your pandemic?
Um, I spent a lot of time at home, honestly. I created my own gin, like vodka, tequila gin. So I created my own gin during the pandemic.
No
I
way.
did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You got to try it.
I will.
I did a lot of writing. So I created 2 series as well as a film that I'm hoping to bring forth now that I'm in India. And yeah, how did you spend the pandemic?
Drinking a gin. That's all I
You
did.
did.
I was like, bring on the bottle right now.
That's right. So
That
instead
is
of becoming an
amazing.
alcoholic, I just entered the alcohol industry.
And made me into an alcoholic.
You two guys are surely having fun. But then I watched the trailer. It was super entertaining and super inspiring. Especially there was this line your character said that life हो या खेल जीतने के लिए बस हिम्मत और जज्बा चाहिए. Then nothing can stop you, right? So
Hmm.
आप दोनों के लाइफ में, you guys are actors. So आप दोनों के लाइफ में what was that moment, that jungle cry moment where you thought it's not going to happen? Should I give up? but then something happened, and you were like, "Let me give it one last shot." So, can you please share that one experience if you can recall right now, both of you?
Okay. Where you felt hopeless and then something happened. Like
You mean during the film?
in life in
In
general?
life in general?
Yeah, I think he meant in life in general.
In
Like
life in
that one
general.
moment where you felt like there's no hope, but then something happens or you manage to.
Yeah, I think the release of Jungle Cry, because we were right, at the start of doing the press for releasing it, and it was supposed to be released, I think April 17th or something like that. And obviously that was 2020, and it was just horrible because it completely fell through. And at that point, even through the second year, I was like, I don't know if this film's ever going to be released,
Oh
because
wow.
yeah, it's just we never knew when theaters were going to open and how it was going to be released. And even James Bond kept pushing, so it was like, if James Bond is pushing, when are we going to release? So
Even
I think
Tom Cruise was like,
in that moment. What about you?
Did he get it? It was
think
recorded,
so.
huh? They got he wasn't there. Did you get all that, Amrits?
"Yes, yes, I,
You
I, I
did.
did, I
You
did."
did.
And what about you, Abhay, sir?
Well, ironically, even though it was a pandemic, but I've been down this road so many times. I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, they'll come around at some point.
That's good. I'm glad why did you call me and tell me?
Because you
I
will
was panicking.
you will only hear it with words never
Yeah.
teach. It's always the
Yeah,
experience. So
that's
while
true.
you would understand me theoretically, but you would never lose that feeling
Yeah.
of hopelessness now. But I'm like, it's no, it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll come around. I never doubted it, but I just didn't know when.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But for me in my life, when did I lose hope and then gain it back again? Uh, I suppose like I had a sibling in my very first movie. I mean, it took 4 years to make.
Oh,
Seriously.
okay.
I said, like, right from the word go.
Wow.
By the way,
You
that is
know,
one of my favorite films actually, Sochanata. Very
Socha
beautiful
tha.
film.
And then when
Yeah,
we released also, it was exam time. So we opened very small. I mean, we opened with no people coming, but it word of mouth kept picking it up and picking it up. And
right,
so far, it was
right,
hard to finish that movie and make it. Then it was hard to release it. And then nobody was showing up because we were hit the exams. It was a young adult movie. But
right.
so I was like, no, okay, maybe I should just pack up my bags now in the very first movie. And then suddenly, like people kept coming and coming and coming, and it just never stopped. And even after that, it was hard because it on paper it wasn't necessarily a hit.
Right.
And so I really had to keep working
I
my
think
way
it
up.
became a cult over time.
I've had a few of those. So I've had Manorma also cult, Ek Chalis also cult, sort of had to kind of, wait for time.
Yeah, so clearly the fans and me, we are seeing this Bollywood Hollywood connection. So let's get right into it. Now, this movie, as we saw the trailer, is really, really refreshing, right? So, just want to know that we have seen so many sports films over the years, right? Especially made in India and outside. Can you just tell me how it is different from the rest of the sports films that we have seen, and specifically content-wise? Because so many content is getting released in Lionsgate Play app, and of course the Airtel Stream app. So can you please tell about that?
Well, I mean, there have been sports films that are true stories, but I think what's special is I've been talking about the fact that Samantha and what he started
Yeah, of course.
and the tribal kids.
Yeah, definitely.
These are kids from tribal areas, and I think it's amazing. Dr. Samantha, who started the institute, he's been an inspiration, and how he's given these kids education, food, clothing, a chance at life,
Mhm.
and then they go on to win the World Cup. So I think that's made it really special. I don't know. What do you feel?
Yeah, I think so too. And even in the story, you'll see Dr. Samantha, and in real life, gave up something or put something on the line that was really, really important and essential for him to obviously continue doing what he was doing. And he believed in the kids so much that he put that opportunity. I won't tell you what because you have to go watch the film, but he did put that on the line, in trusting and believing in what they could do and what
You don't know
the possibility would be. So
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it so different, is that the stakes were set so high for these kids.
Questions to Abhay sir specifically because you play Rudrakesh Jaina, right? Who's the rugby coach in the film. Now, tell me how well versed are you in the game format, and did you play any football or any sort of sports back in the school or college?
I did play football in school. I wasn't necessarily very good at it. Yeah. And then rugby, not at all.
Yeah.
So I had to actually go through the rules and understand the game from them, from Rudra, from from our own team, you know. Even the kids
Right.
taught me a thing or two.
Yeah.
So I was really
And
learning it as going along.
so you clearly were not really good at sports, as we told. But then, talking about Emily, I am told that she has been an athlete since school, and she actually managed a baseball team back in high school for 3 years.
Really?
Is that true?
I did. Yeah, I love sports. I grew up doing sports. I was a soccer player. I was a goalie actually growing up, and I love that. And then I was a full-on dancer. I was even a dance teacher, but I did ballet, tap, jazz, point, lyrical, modern,
That ain't a
Bollywood,
sport.
contemporary.
Well,
Dancing's a sport. Don't listen to him. Dancing's a sport. It takes a lot of
Right.
athletic ability. Thank you.
Exactly.
I
So
dance
like
all the time. That means I'm also
so
sporty.
so how hard or easy was you to play this character? You play Roshni Thakkar, right?
Yep.
She's a therapist. So this character is quite like tailor made for you.
This character is what? Good type.
Tailor made
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, it was. It definitely was. It was Roshni Tucker was actually added into the script. And the reason why we added her was because it was such a male-centric film. And obviously in today's day and age, we live in the world of 2022. There should be some equality with women. And we just were missing that female element. And it didn't make sense because the audience does crave that, and you're gonna lose your female audience. And
Right.
having such a male dominant film too, again, you just miss that balance. So we added Roshni Tucker, who played a very essential role in the boys' growth and journey when they reached the UK.
Yeah, but I bring in the female audience.
Arey yaar.
You bring in the
Chhodna
male
yaar.
audience.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I
That's
bring in
what-
the male audience.
Exactly.
So, Angel,
Maybe.
So now, since all the fans and the people from the Lionsgate app and the Airtel Extreme app are here, they have joined you, they want to listen to you talk about the film. I'm sure so many are aspiring actors, right? Just like you guys. You guys made it. These guys are on the journey to make it. Can you just share any message that jungle cry mantra for them to stick their path of becoming an actor and making it big?
For other actors,
Yes, for all the aspiring actors who have joined here.
for the aspiring actors who joined here, I would say that wow, like what do you tell other actors? No, it's like you want to say so much and then you get what would you
Yeah.
say? What would you start with? And I'll come up with something.
I mean, it's cliche, but I think to be in this industry, you have to have really thick skin because I don't mean to sound negative, but it's just a beast of the nature. There's a lot more rejection than there is exception. And so you kind of have to focus on loving and accepting yourself in that manner and then going out and portraying your talent or portraying another character in that sense. But I think you've got to have a strong mind and have that burning passion to want to continue on, because it's really easy to give up. And the hard thing is to continue going when there has been that rejection.
Okay, yeah, that's true. I would say it's definitely a really beautiful profession.
Right.
It's really unique in the sense that it explores human psychology, human creativity, human expression. Your body is your tool. What Emily said is all true. Um, and I can see the attraction because that's those are some of the sacrifices we make. Like you do have to have that thick skin because you are going to be judged, no doubt.
Right.
I would say that success, talent may or may not get you success. It's not always dependent upon talent. It takes a lot more than just talent to succeed in this industry. And if you are not finding success, it's not necessarily the fact that you're not talented. And so don't be so hard on yourself if you do have the talent and you find yourself failing. Yeah, you need to question your circumstances sometimes, and not maybe your own self. And sometimes you need to make hard choices. And if you can express yourself, I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah, I
it's,
know.
I don't want to be negative either
Yeah.
because it is a beautiful profession to be a part of. And I have noticed a lot of people have more specific specialized skills because of what they've seen. And so they cater to an ecosystem. For me, acting was never to cater to anyone. It was just an expression of my own self. And I really didn't want to conform. And that made it just harder. But there's great satisfaction you got from from putting it out there and then getting acceptance. So one of the other traps is even if you do make it, it doesn't end. Then there's this risk that you're looking for validation from the outside. We work in this environment where it's all about validation. So just be careful of the pitfalls that validation or not, you have to recognize your own talent for your own self and play for your own self and nobody else. I know it sounds ironic. You're playing to the galleries, you're playing to the audiences and not for yourself. But I really didn't play for anybody but me because
I think it shows, right? When you do it for yourself, it shows. When you do it for others, I think you can recognize that with other actors. It's more genuine.
She's bang on. Like, I think that's the one point I think I would say from both of us is play for yourself, because when you do that, it shows. It shows whether you're that person trying to impress someone or you're that person who just does it because it's natural for you to, and it's a great self-satisfaction you're doing it for. You're not doing it for achievement. You're not doing it for a validation. You're doing it for your own satisfaction.
Yeah.
And nobody will tell you that because it goes against business. Right?
Yeah, no producer.
Yeah.
So clearly, this film is all about that, never giving up, and especially all the fans who heard you. I'm sure they are really inspired and motivated. So now, before setting it out for the audiences and the fans to ask the questions, can you please? I ask all the fans to please send their questions to me, Amrit Kashyap, on the chat, and we'll have 5 questions, and then we can go ahead with them.
Okay. Oh, it's like ginger.
What is that? Oh,
Ginger with a little bit of juice. It's a green juice. Oh.
it's a green juice. It looks yellow.
I know.
It's yellow juice.
I know. It was like celery and stuff
Oh.
like that. So he's getting in the questions
Yes.
now.
So I request all the fans who are there, please send me your questions on the chat, and one by one we can go ahead. So, am I audible?
Yep.
Yep.
So there is one question from the fan, VP, who has asked that describe your most challenging role to date.
Sure.
I'd probably say Jungle Cry. Jungle Cry is my most challenging because I didn't know anything about rugby, and I don't have a medical background of any sort. So learning the terms and how to deal with the children on the field and off the field was tough. I also wanted to make sure that I got the physio part right. So I was constantly calling my physio Shadow, that a real physio out of the US, and asking her, how do you wrap a foot? How do you wrap this? How do you treat that? So that way on camera, it was way more believable. And I wasn't just sitting there with tools mindlessly.
I think for me, I would say it would be Shanghai, because I was playing a South Indian Tamil Brahmin IAS officer who's older than I, and so in trying to get the accent right, we don't have the infrastructure. Like in America, for example, you have a whole range of accents and people who can train you in this accent or that accent. Whereas in India, because Bollywood has mainly just, kind of had a stereotypical image of whether it's a South Indian or the Punjabi, the Parsi, and we were trying to make it more real, and finding a Tamilian who speaks Hindi was hard because they all speak English. And so we had to get this writer who had time to give me, and I had to create my own way of learning how to give this character an accent. I don't find acting a challenge as such. And by that, I don't mean it's easy. It's just something I love to do, and I'll throw myself in it because that's what I do. But when I had to change the way I spoke, and then having no real help to find that was a challenge. And so we had to create the way he spoke. But I don't like to see it as a challenge because, again, I love what I do. So it just made it more interesting. It just came to mind because I was the only character I really had to work at, because of the way he spoke.
Yeah. So now the second question is for both of you. How is it different for you guys that your movie is being released on an OTT platform than being released on a theater?
I don't think it's I don't really think it's different. It's promotions run the same way. There's a power of social media, which you use in today's day and age. And so I think it's quite similar.
Actually, promotions are easier.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I was gonna
on
say maybe.
OTT,
Yeah,
because with the theatrical, we have to go from one studio to another, one
yeah,
news channel to another.
yeah.
With
That's
the
true.
OTT platforms, they have to have with X amount of people, and they all
Right.
come to you.
Yeah, that's true. And everything's digitally and
And it's all
virtual.
digital, so
Yeah,
actually it's easier.
yeah.
But
That's true.
honestly, look, a film outside of the marketing, everything else is the same. You still
Yeah.
put in the same hours. You're still
Right.
making a film as a product, and we have Lionsgate Play, which is a great platform to be on.
Hmm.
So I think all that matters is that it gets shown, and different platforms, different advantages. A theatrical will have an X amount of time that it'll play, whereas on a digital platform, it's there for perpetuity. So it'll constantly be playing. It's constantly accessible. Yeah, the screen size is different. You would like it's some films are nicer to see on a big screen. Some you can kind of watch neither.
Yeah, yeah. That's
And
true.
I've had both. So for me, it's really I like both. Like
Yeah.
a platform like a Lionsgate is a great one to have. So I'm happy as much as I would be if it was being theatrical too.
Right.
Yeah.
So definitely, like your film is going to be released on OTT platform, Lionsgate Play app, and the Airtel Extreme app. So I think all the fans should download both the apps right now and subscribe to it to watch the film. And that's all for today, I think, from the audience. But before leaving, I think please tell us why should everybody watch this movie on the Lionsgate Play app and the Airtel Extreme app? What is in for all the fans this time?
I never know how to answer this
I'll tell you why.
question.
I have the perfect answer. I'll tell you why.
I always think is Emily's in it. So like
Yes, please.
Thank you. No, the reason why you should watch this is because these films that get made are because of the audience. So if the audience supports a film and they continuously support the film and the numbers are high, the box office is high, they're going to continue making those types of films. This is a very important film because there's a message to be put out that these boys did not get the attention that they should have gotten back in 2007. And so that's why we made this film, so that way they can get that recognition that they worked really hard on. So it's up to you guys and everybody else, to watch this film and get those numbers up so you can show these platforms and these massive studios that these are the types of films that we should be making. That's why you should watch it.
I couldn't put it any better than that. And with
Yes,
any more passion than that.
I'm speechless hearing that. Literally. Anyway, I think that was a wonderful session, and we all loved the trailer. I'm looking forward to watch the movie very, very soon. That was a fantastic session, and sorry for the delay from my side to both of you, but I'm looking forward to the movie, and I wish you all the best from my side, from the team, and all the fans. They are looking eagerly to watch this film. All the fans, let me tell you once again, Jungle Cry is going to be released very, very soon on the Lionsgate Play app and the Airtel Extreme app. Please watch it this June, and the theatrical release will also happen this May. Please, and I wish you all the best, both of you. Have a great evening, and yes, see you guys soon.
Thank
Thank
you. See you
you.
soon. Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.